Hey everybody, Flip and Danny here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group family of companies, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, which is called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
That's right, and ho, ho, ho. Welcome to another live episode of We Are on Location still today. We had to record this one early because I'm flying all day today.
Your arms are tired.
Boy, are my arms tired. So I'm still in Austin. For those of you watching, you can see the Austin thing behind me. But for those of you listening, you have no idea what I'm pointing at. And of course, today, if you're watching, you obviously see what I'm wearing. It's one of my most festive Fun Shirt Fridays. And if you're only listening, just imagine what's that guy that comes around on the 25th?
Santa Claus.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry you're not getting a chance to see this. But make sure you head on over to Danny's Facebook because you'll see the Fun Shirt Friday picture there and you'll see the whole goodness.
I love it.
But welcome to, this is a week 51. A recap and key takeaways. All right, Danny, you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
All right, let's roll. All right, so episode 351, the investing vehicle you choose isn't as important as this. So key takeaways, creating and nurturing a great team is important, but it is also critical to understand when we have made a poor hire. Potential staff always shine during the interview process, but once on board, some will flourish and others will flounder. Continuously evaluating our team has helped us build our business and expand. It has helped us find new deals and turn marginal investment into great ones. Another takeaway is the investment we make in our team drives our success. However, we understand that not every hire is a great cultural or organizational fit. Although we never want to abandon our human capital, we are confident that through transparent processes, we can identify, encourage, and foster the talent that drives our businesses and evaluate and move on from those who may be unable to execute our vision for the present and the future. On to you, Danny.
All right. Episode 352, Real Estate Fraud Rears Its Ugly Head. Key takeaway number one. In this episode, we talked about the importance of having a great team around us when we make investment decisions. We read an article about a Twin Cities house flipper who faces nearly 5 years in prison for an investor fraud scheme. We must be wary of shady deals and charlatans who promise too good to be true returns. There will always be people who look to take advantage of the less savvy investors or those in vulnerable positions. Please reach out to us if you have any questions about a potential investment. Even if it's not with us, we're happy to answer your questions. Key takeaway number two, Warren Buffett said, only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked. I love that quote. To us, that should mean that when economies or markets change, the real investors will be revealed. Yes, the real investors will be revealed because they know how to navigate a downturn or different market cycle. During these times, the fraudulent investors of the world will be discovered. This is why we are launching a course in 2023 where part of the curriculum will educate you on how to avoid not only poor investment choices, but poor investors. We want everyone to understand their investment options and how to choose the right team to partner with, whether you want to be a private lender, turnkey investor, or become part of a syndication deal.
All right, episode 353, Motivational Monday, old status symbols. First key takeaway is, in the past, people showed their wealth by flaunting things. Who had the flashiest car, who had the biggest home, or the shiniest jewelry was the self-identifier of success. But in today's world, the ultimate show of wealth is the flex of freedom. Another key takeaway is when we purchased our Florida home, we realized that we had achieved geographical freedom, which I didn't even know existed, and that we had sacrificed earlier in life and spent time investing in building our companies so that we could work remotely and move where we had always wanted. We set a target, took steps to achieve that goal, and passed on all of the carrots life dangled at us that would impede our progress. We created our Freedom family of companies to share our experiences and guide you through the financial course of your life so that you too can reach the goal of living the life you choose.
That's right. Episode 354, Recessions are the best time to grow a business. Key takeaway number one, Warren Buffett once said, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. This statement is somewhat of a contrarian view on stock markets and relates directly to the price of an asset. When others are greedy, prices typically boil over, and one should be cautious lest they overpay for an asset that subsequently leads to poor returns. When others are fearful, it may present a good value investment opportunity. In today's uncertain economic climate, we see many people who allow their emotions to control their investing. Fear causes them to retreat and cash out their investment. But we see this as a positive for the savvy investor because to us, it means fewer competitors are in the marketplace. Key takeaway number 2, for the prepared investor, now may be the time to strike. In one of our previous podcasts, we shared with you how important it was to surround ourselves with people like us who know how to navigate down markets like this and know how to make better and more creative offers. Now is not the time to sit on the sidelines when the biggest wealth transfers are typically during uncertain times like we are experiencing today.
Yay. All right. Episode 355, 100% ownership, passive investor ads. Beware. All right. So first key takeaway is it is difficult to take the leap and commit to an investment. There are companies that may advertise in a way that promotes 100% ownership of a property. What they don't tell you is that there is a $500,000 minimum investment, or that they are simply wholesaling you a property and then, after taking their commission, leave you on your own in an unfamiliar space. And when you need assistance with management or renovations, that same company now has zero risk and is happy to help you for a fee. Another takeaway is it can be overwhelming and frightening to be a single real estate investor. You have 100% of the financial risk and have to understand the investment and absorb 100% of any renovations and other costs. The 100% of the risk is yours. This is why you should consider partnering with us when you invest. Our investment vehicles have multiple partners to spread that risk. Our team is there to support you and answer your questions every day. We have a variety of investments available with lower minimums that are attractive if you are a beginning investor. You can rely on your knowledge, or you can rely on our knowledge, expertise, experience, and boots on the ground to address marketing, accounting, renovations, and oversight of your investment from start to finish.
That's right. All right. And week 51 live update was yesterday, episode 356. Now, this is a little bit kind of an odd one again because we're having to record this episode early. So my first key takeaway was that Flip's in Arizona. Yes.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yesterday was his flight over here. Man, I'm just so grateful that we're together again. And so I wanted to make sure that was one of the key takeaways.
But I'm still here.
I know, because we're recording early. By the time this launches, though, we'll be together. That's why it's a key takeaway.
Yeah. And then the second key takeaway is our deal. It is the final deal for this month, but in typical multifamily fashion, just a little bit. Just hold on, just a little bit more. What? Just a little bit more. Just wait. Hold on, just a little bit.
Yeah. And you said final deal of the month, but it's the actual final deal of the year.
Yeah, I meant to say final deal of the year. Yeah, which is huge.
Yeah, you too, Jude. So super excited about that. But yeah, so this is fun. There's only one more week of this, Flip. Woohoo!
Is this the last Fun Shirt Friday? No, we have one more.
One more.
We have one more. Okay,
yep.
So whew. I'll have to see if I have another Fun Shirt available.
I have faith in you.
Yeah. I better go buy one. We hope you enjoy this episode. Make sure you're heading on over to our website, freedomcapitalinvestments.com, to join the Investor Club. Again, we only got a little bit left of this year, but we still have a lot going on. Make sure you're reaching out to Ben and or CJ to find out what's going on. But 2023 is right around the corner, and we already have stuff going on for 2023. So make sure you get into that club. But we like to end all of our episodes with
invest smart,
live happy. Bye, everybody. Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on the show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit and loss.